Hi everyone, welcome to Dust Shelf Collectibles. Well, a project that I've wanted to do for an awful long time is one of the Tamiya trucks, and you can see here the King Hauler, an American outline lorry, 3-speed gearbox, fantastic looking kit, looks absolutely amazing. I've wanted to build one of these for such a long time, and my plan for this video, this one is just going to be an unboxing. I'm going to show you what's in the box. Then I don't know how many videos it'll be. I'll try and keep them to sort of 20 minutes long, just build sequences of putting the kit together. And then finally we'll talk about the multifunction unit, which is this separately sold bit of kit that goes inside the truck that brings all the lights and sounds and everything into the model. I'll do an unboxing of this as well, and then we'll do a video of fitting this into the truck and yeah, taking it out for a run. So by the look of it, I've had a quick look inside the box. It does look like an epic build, so as I say, really looking forward to this one. So let's get it over to the bench, and this video I'll show you what's inside the box. Well, today we're looking at the King Hauler from Tamiya. This is an RC truck. Now, I did have a couple of options when purchasing this. I could have gone for the Grand Hauler, which has slightly taller exhaust ports and a lot more chrome on there. I actually prefer this older looking one. I think this really does look particularly good, so I went for this one. I then also had the option of going for the older kit, which is this one in red, or the latest black edition. Now, as far as I could see, the black edition comes with a pre-painted body, but there's nothing else that's different in the kit, and it's actually £25 more. Now, as I plan on painting the body anyway, I've gone for the cheaper one just because I'm going to paint over the paint that's already on there anyway. So let's walk around the box very quickly. Obviously, a great picture of the truck here, shows sort of the outline that's going to look in a schematic. At the top here, talks about the gearbox. So this has a 3-speed transmission on here. So runs with a servo, and you can change the gears as the lorry is accelerating. Let me just read these out. So servo-controlled constant mesh 3-speed transmission, coil springs, shock and leaf springs, ladder type frame, highly detailed body, front mounting motor and rear wheel drive, custom plated wheels, semi-pneumatic tyres, coupler unit for separately available semi-trailer, ready to assemble, precision model may vary, and not suitable for children under 14 years, paint's not included. Now, I do have one hop-up item while we're talking about the gearbox, and that's this, which is a torque-tuned motor. So I will be changing the motor in here. And I've also purchased the MFU unit, the multifunction unit, which basically is all the lights and sounds that go with the truck. So I will be fitting that at some point as well. Down the bottom of the box here, it says the separately sold items. I'm just going to read this. I might try and move it up very slightly so it's into frame. A 4-channel transmitter, so you do need a 4-channel radio for this. And it says 2 servos, but I think it's 3 if you actually want to operate the rear as well. It says on here electronic speed controller, but as I say, I've bought the multifunction unit, so that does act as a speed controller. I'm not sure if there's one in the box, but we'll find out in a minute. And then obviously your batteries and chargers and things. Now, on the side of the box, I can't really get this into frame, so I'm actually going to do this with a photograph. I've got a nice schematic of the lorry, nicely labelled up, as you can see, showing all the different bits and pieces that sit inside the cab. So running from the front to the back, we've got the plated bumper, you can see the leaf springs on there, where the battery sits and the electronics, and then on the rear we've got the differentials, 2 differentials on there, the mud flaps, and again all the springs set up. So quite a nice schematic there. And then in the words on the other side shows the motor schematic for the transmission, so first gear, second gear and third gear, how that works. And then it says this is an RC model assembly kit which captures both the style and mechanism of a tractor truck in detail. Length is 600mm, width 180mm, height 225mm, and weighs approximately 2.8 kilograms. It's a ladder frame, features aluminium side channels with a resin cross member for highly authentic feel. The metal leaf spring dampers with built-in coil springs provide durable suspension when controlled with a separately available 4-channel controller. The assembly type 3-speed transmission enables the authentic gear changes while driving. The propeller shaft transmits power from the front mounted motor to the rear axles, which are equipped with built-in differentials for smooth cornering. Realistic styrene body has a sleeper at the rear of the cab and utilises numerous metal plated parts, including a muffler with metal cover. The included coupling enables connection with any other available Tamiya 1/4 scale trailers. And then finally it concludes with used with the separately sold multifunction unit to enjoy realistic light, sound and vibration effects. So as I did say, I have bought the multifunction unit, so I will be fitting that. On the other side of the box, just the schematic again, a side view and a top view. Right, let me lift the lid off the box. I'll show you what's inside. Now, down these are quite expensive kits, I will say that, and I have been wanting to do one of these for quite a long time, so this is a real special treat. But let's go through what we've got in here. So first of all, we've got the two side frames, you can see them here, and I'll slide one of these out so you get an idea of the length of the chassis. Let's see if I can get that past the compressor that's on the bench here. Right, so there you go, that's the side frame, to sort of give you an idea of the sort of length of the truck. So there's two of those, put that to one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift these two boxes out. We'll come back to those in a minute. We'll go through what's in those in a second. I'm just going to lift those out because it keeps on wanting to fall off the bench. The box is so big. Right, let's see what else we've got in the main compartment. So obviously a beautiful truck body here, quite a size, finished in white. I'm going to spray this. I'm actually going to do it in metallic black, so rather than be in the matte black that the black edition comes in, I'm going to do it in metallic black. So that's rather nice moulding there, and just looking over the quality of the moulding, yeah, it looks really, really good. No blemishes on that at all, so lovely. Then we've got numerous chrome parts here. You can see the bumper, mud flaps, you know, this the step on the back of the cab. We've got obviously the exhaust here, you can see the exhaust mountings, so lots of chrome parts in there. This box, again, end of the fuel tanks, you can see here, looking rather nice, and then the steps on the side of the cab, beautifully chromed, very, very nicely done. Rest of the fuel tank here that sits either side of the cab, and some other detailed finishing parts. The glazing pack, so we can finish off the windows in there, and then these look like various chassis components moulded in there. And then the bottom of the box, we have the decals, and I do believe this sort of gold and cream colour scheme will go very well with the metallic black that I've chosen, so that should look pretty good. What's this one here? This is just the usual Tamiya instructions to be careful, don't cut yourself. So when assembling the kit, tools including knives, etc., care should be taken. So basically, don't cut yourself, don't let kids, you know, keep an eye on kids, and don't let children under 36 months play with the car. And then we've got the instructions here. So let me just lift this box out of the way, and we'll have a more detailed look at the instructions. Right, let's have a quick look through the instructions. So front page tells you what tools you need as normal with the Tamiya kits. And as I say, for the base build, you need two servos, one for the steering and obviously one for the gearbox. And let's just run through these very quickly. So assembling the servos, steering servos and the gearbox servo, dropping those into the frame, and you can see how the frames build up. This is the first time I've opened this book, so this is all new to me, so apologies if I get little bits wrong. Building up the front suspension, you see here attachment of the leaf springs. Looks like one of the differentials, yep, differentials going together on the rear of the vehicle, and then the two differentials dropping in with their associated leaf springs. Some linkages here for the suspension components, putting together the dampers. You can see the dampers going on here, and then we've got the control rods, one for the gearbox, one for the steering, going on to the servos. Moving on a little bit further, we've got again, this is the sorry, I did say front leaf spring on the previous, but this is the front leaf spring. That must have been the rear one. So this is the front leaf spring assembly, and obviously your uprights for steering. And then we move on to what appears to be the gearbox assembly. Yep, you can see the gearbox going together here with its three-speed function. Motor drops in, gearbox goes in, has a casing round it, and then the casing drops into the frame. There's assembly here of the mud flaps, and then over the page here, this is the obviously the trailer coupling. Now this is the one that comes with the kit, which I think is a manually operated one. If you buy the multifunction unit, I believe you get a second one of these in there, which is one that can be operated from a servo, but we'll find that out later when I do the unboxing on the multifunction kit. Mudguards assemble on goes your trailer attachment, and then you've got your assembly of your two fuel tanks that go either side, and the steps onto the space frame chassis. Base of the cab, this is where your battery sits. This drops on here, and then we've got the first bits of radio gear coming in. This is the speed controller, radio gear, etc., all dropping into the interior of the cab, and then setting up the steering alignment and adjustments. Adjustment of the servo operating the gearbox for the 3-speed, and then putting the wheels onto the hubs, which is these. I have actually had a quick look at the hubs on here. They're really, really nice. We'll come to those in a minute. And then you can see the wheels mounting onto the chassis. We've got the bumper assemblies here with their bits of glass in. Again, we'll see those in a minute. And then we move on to number 42, which is putting the body together, putting the decals on there, putting the glass in, and generally sort of finishing off. And then once we've got the exhaust assembly on here, we've got these metal covers, I'll show you those in a minute, that go over the exhaust, which looks absolutely superb. And then finally the interior, so you can see the dashboard here and the steering wheel. This kit doesn't come with a driver, so if I'd gone for the ground hauler, that does actually come with a driver, but I've got one of those on order, so I can paint that up and put it inside. You can buy those from, I think it's from Model Sport. They're about £6 for the driver to drop in here, which isn't too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then finally, sort of the finishing touches, just little bits and pieces around the body and the back panel going in, and we're just about there. And then, as always, in the back of the Tamiya books, you get this schematic of all of the sprues, all of the screw bags. So when you're looking for a part, you know, you can turn to the back here and it tells you exactly what screw bag it's in. If I go back over and just pick one of these at random, for each one of these numbers, if you look at number 5, it tells me that I need, for example, a BA2. Let's just pull this into shot. A BA2 and a BA7. I can then come to the back here, find a BA2 and a BA7, and it will tell me which screw bag it's in, so I can go straight to that screw bag and find it. So this is very, very useful when you're doing these kind of really complex kits. Right, so that's the instructions. I'm going to put those to one side, and let's have a look into a couple of these boxes. So this first box, let's do the lid. In here we have a rather nice set of tyres. They're moulded very nicely. Got a Tamiya logo on the side, and a very nice tread pattern on there, and obviously, you know, quite a few of those in there for the build. Tube of thread lock, liquid thread lock. What have we got in here? These look like motor mounting plates, and also that looks like the coupling that goes on the rear of the car, but obviously a bag of metal components there. We have bronze bearings, phosphor bronze bearings. I have actually bought a set of ball races for this, so I will be replacing those as a hop-up item, putting proper ball races in, but nice to see a kit coming with these. I mean, that's, yeah, very good. Screw bag F, I'm not doing these in order, but screw bag B, you see the amount of hardware you get in this kit. E, these are more detailed little parts. What we got here, I don't know what that is in there, some sort of mesh. This must be the mesh for the grille, and there's some little springs and things in there. Another bag of little metal components. And in here we've got a set of grub screws. Screw bag A, again, look at the amount of hardware. Screw bag C, again, smaller components in there. We've got a shaft bag here with some handles and different bits of accessories. Another metal bag here with various bits and pieces. Again, more shafts and components in there. And another accessories bag here with some little brass components and some longer screws, probably for the suspension, I suspect those ones. And then screw bag D, various bits of hardware in there, and it just goes on. And then we've got these this bag here, which seems to have the fitting for the wheels. Then a bag for the servo. This is you've obviously got the steering arms here that go onto the servo. You've got a box spanner, there's an Allen key in there, and a couple of other bits and pieces, a tube of grease, and what's under here. Right, and a cog with some bevel gears in there, cog bag with some bevel gears in there for your differentials. So already you can see, just with this box and the amount of hardware in here, what a fantastic kit this is. I mean, you know, I won't lie, it's not a cheap kit, and I'm sure you can look it up if you're interested in one of these, but you know, we're talking a few £100 here for this, but certainly the content is there. Right, and then lifting over the second pack, we've got a blister pack on the top here. We'll just run through these. So these are metal formed exhaust covers that will go over the chrome part. They're going to look absolutely superb. Got the ring gear here for assembly of the differentials. Got a prop shaft in the middle here, different drive shafts, bevel gear set. Over here we've got the damper cylinders, and then our leaf springs in here, and the motor, which I'm actually, as I say, I am going to replace in this kit with the torque tune motor. And then inside this box, again, many components. We have lenses for the lighting. different moulded components there. They look like the chassis cross braces. You can see here the casing for the engine and the gearbox assembly, and then the casing for the two differentials that go on the rear of the car. Got some nylon components there. I'm not sure what they're for. They're probably gearbox bits and pieces. Here we've got the two seats, the steering wheel, you've got the centre console and the back of the cab. I'll come back to the wheels in a minute. More different components on there, and then a couple of sprues here which have got the, I don't know if you can just make it out here, but that's the attachment plate for the trailer. And yeah, there's some, these look like the cab floor, bits and pieces where your battery sits. Yeah, so that's the cab floor that sits in the base of the truck. Some larger nylon cogs there. And then finally the sets of wheels. So these do look absolutely superb. You can see the finish on here with the sort of nuts in the middle. Really superb finish on there, and these are the rear ones. Yeah, so there you go. So that's everything in the box. Lots of components there. As I say, it's not the cheapest of kits, but I think, you know, given the amount of parts in here and the complexity of it, the amount of hardware as well, it probably is, well, I hope it's worth the money. I think it will be worth the money. I'm quite looking forward to starting building it, which I'll be doing shortly. But as I say, what I plan to do is do several videos during the build. Just walk through, probably with the instruction book, I'll probably walk through, I don't know, the first 10 steps, just showing you each step as I go. When I've completed the step, talk through how it was built, and yeah, gradually build the kit up. And also look out for the unboxing video of the multifunction unit when I get there. Again, quite an expensive upgrade on here, but hopefully it'll be worth it. And yeah, this is one of the kits I've really been looking forward to do. And as you'll know, if you watch a lot of my videos, this is one of the kits that I've really wanted to do for a very long time. So yeah, quite excited about this one. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you enjoyed the video, if you found this interesting, please do give it a like, and by all means, why don't you subscribe? It doesn't cost you anything, and you know, you can catch the forthcoming build on this if you so please. And with that, I'll say, well, thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.